Fly me to the moon and let me play among the stars.
I mean, a lot of people now will say, well, if you've won a Juno, why not go into music full time? And well, for one thing, I produce my music independently, so there's a cost to that, which I can't deny. And I've always enjoyed having a little bit of artistic freedom, having a lot of artistic freedom, which I think having an income from a separate job is helpful. I don't have to necessarily sign with a label and then have to meet their demands in terms of what my albums are going to look like. For example, after having won a Juno for a jazz album, switching gears and doing a children's album was a bit unconventional, but I only had to answer myself.
I believe in little things like you and me.
When you're kind of in close proximity to someone who is more or less famous, it's a really weird feeling.
I googled her name, found out she had a Wikipedia page, which is pretty cool in my opinion.
My sister had her as a teacher and I really enjoyed her music, so I kind of came here and I was like,
I'm not really sure if my students are aware of what I do because I don't talk about it in class very often. The Junos kind of raises the profile, so if I'm trying to do the Clark Kent, it's a bit hard because it's publicized and they're aware of that, but I sort of keep the two professions a little bit separate. So for music and teaching to work in tandem for me, it usually means that what it would be a break from school is actually when I get hard at work with my music. So March break was 6 days in the studio for me working on the next album. So yeah, for me there's not really like a break, they're just like a switching of scenery. Sometimes I'll just say that being an artist of any kind I think is challenging, but it shouldn't cut it out of your life, because there's so much pressure on kids these days to pick a job profession at a young age and sort of work in a very linear way towards that. And I have personally felt the benefit of not being unilateral and looking a little across the spectrum, and I'm actually really happy that I have two very different jobs.